points.
Look for them to go to the left side again. Bredenbauer, nope, this time they're coming right. They're looking past, they're looking around, they're looking into the end zone, and he gets her in just barely.
Nice
just
play.
barely. 14-0, and end of the first quarter, not quite, 15 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Well, GSL has looked very good on defense, very good. They've not allowed a first down by Hutchinson. The one that Hutchinson would have had was called back by that costly penalty again, so Hutchinson's been victimized by the penalties, knocking themselves backwards while on offense and then costly piling on while on defense, aiding GSL's cause greatly.
I can see why GSL is ranked number 1. I think Buzz was saying that they needed to get a little experience, but some of those guys that got coming back look pretty experienced in that line, and they're making life tough for the Tiger deep offensive backs. With the kicker, I think Hutch should think about moving their deep men up about 15 yards, because so far that kicker hasn't got it in the air down to the 30-yard line, I don't think.
Christensen, Davis, and Thody are the 3 deep men for the Tigers.
Keeping it is.
I mean, caping. Thody's hurt, rather.
Yep.
Tigers probably wish they had Thody. So far, Malin and Irvin have made the returns for the Hutch Tigers, and they're some of the up-backs standing on about the 33.
Another poor kick. This one's over to Christensen, and he's coming up the sideline, and he's going to be stopped short of the 30, as I don't know, there was no blocking. I don't know who was supposed to block. 3 blacks were down on that play very early, and actually Christensen only got about a 6-7 yard return on the play, so the Tigers start even deeper, and they probably won't get a play in this quarter, as the clock will run out before they get a chance, and maybe they need to turn it around here a little bit, as they have been struggling.
Change of possession, the clock won't start till the snap, so they will get one more play heading the same direction here. The wind is not a factor, however. It is a dead calm night.
Kirchhoff's in there at quarterback.
Whipstad is still in. He's just at an end now. And first pass is intercepted. Nice play. Number 12 for GSL, Nate Resch.
Got to throw that one to the outside, not to the inside there, and give the receiver.
Whipstad was the intended target that time, and he couldn't climb the back of Resch that time. Resch was in the position to catch it, as you mentioned, and now it's 1st and 10 for GSL on their own 46-yard line.
So, well, whatever could go wrong has gone wrong for the first quarter here. The Tigers will be glad to see this one come to an end, as there will be one more play, barring penalty. There's a ride into the line, the pitch to Schultz. He's got the corner, very quick, and he's a hard runner, and he gets about 7 as they soften the Tiger inside and then pitched it wide.
Very reminiscent of the first ball game last year, where GSL was just taking it to the Tigers, and it looks the same this year. Now, last game of the year was much closer ball game, but it appears that GSL Panthers are much ahead of the Tigers here, at least through the first quarter.
Well, the score is 14-0, and so let's keep it right here, because the possession change, they're just going to have to take about a step or two, and they've got up to midfield, and they'll just reverse that, and as soon as the referees get the ball set, they'll be ready to go. And GSL is over on the far side huddling, and the Tigers are kind of back on their heels right now, wondering what hit them here early, as a penalty put them in bad position, and then a fumble by Whipstead on one where they ran it in for a touchdown. So
we've been calling the Hutch defensive backs names an awful lot here in the first quarter, making the tackles. They haven't had to do much pass defending. GSL's coming straight at them with the run, and Foshing and Schleter and Christensen and company are having to make a lot of the tackles in the against Schultz and Mishka and company, the GSL runners.
We'll try and get some of these defenders too. We got Justin Martin, number 27, is playing as a linebacker now. He's replaced Davis in there, as Davis playing on the offensive side. Martin out for football again, first time for a couple, 3 years, and of course his brother came out there as a senior and played a strong role in the Tiger defense. So we'll see if Justin can do the same thing. There's a cross buck to Schultz, and he hands her inside, close to a first down.
Wishbone backfield that time.
Tackle on that play by Justin Martin.
Justin Martin, as you could probably hear from the PA, made the tackle for the Tigers.
Just short of a first down, though.
3rd and a foot.
3rd down and short yardage for the Panthers.
Well, this will probably be the last year that Glencoe Silver Lake plays its home games on this field, as a new complex is being built. Maybe it won't be next year, but at one of the next 2 years for sure, they'll be playing in a brand new stadium over by the high school.
I know they're building the track first, and then the football field will come later, and I know they're in some fundraising on that. So if you're watching there, you can see that it was about 6 inches short, so it's probably already in 4-down territory for the Panthers. They don't give that ball up very often, so they're a ball control team, and they'll pack them in tight. Wishbone again, quarterback sneak, and the quarterback is able to get the first down.
So they continue to move the ball, and the clock will start, of course, when the chains are set, as is in high school and college ball.
B.J. Urban made the tackle there, I think, Dave.
He's playing a linebacker. He's also a running back. They list him on offense, so you may see some action later in the year there as well, but playing linebacker right now.
Tigers got her packed in pretty tight. There's a penalty on the play. It could have been a motion penalty. I think maybe one of the backs were moving a little there.
Yeah, illegal procedure on GSL.
That's not an automatic take, is it? I mean, that's one that you can refuse, and the Tigers may just well refuse this. Very short yardage on the play.
Like you said, they're probably in 4-down territory regardless, as they're in Hutchinson territory at the 41. Hutch is going to take it, though.
Okay.
Motion penalty on the Panthers is accepted by Hutchinson.
So it brings up 1st and 15. Might have wanted to get them back out of that 4-down territory a little bit and force them to make this, see what they come up with on first down here, see if it was a smart play or not. Okay, here comes the quarterback on a rollout, and he's tackled right about in line of scrimmage, and that was Anderson, Peter Anderson, the defensive end.
He was able to chase Mishka down as he was rolling left. It looked as though he was just ready to tuck that ball under. He was not going to throw it, I don't think. But it was about a 1-yard gain, so it's going to be 2nd and 14 from the Hutchinson 47-yard line.
Well, the penalty did pay off, so the Tigers come up with 4 yards net on the play. There's a ride into the line, quarterback hanging onto the ball as he read the defense, found out that there wasn't anything there. He tried to hang on and go, and the Tigers had stuffed that one pretty well. That was just a yard gain.
Of course, one of the risks with running this type of offense is the ball goes onto the ground once in a while. We've seen GSL do a very good job, though, of holding on to it, but when you're riding the fullback in and he's not sure if he's going to get the ball, the quarterback's pulling it back out, sometimes fumbles do result, but none less far from GSL.
Okay, we'll see if GSL wants to put her up here. They need 12 for a first down. There's the buck up the middle, and the guy gets about 6.
Peter Anderson again, I think, made the tackle, number 65.
Elick. I think they'll punt it away here, though. They're out over the 40-yard line, and so with a lead, I think they'll play it conservative.
Plus, the Panther defense has shown no signs of weakening against the Tiger offense.
We'll see what the Tigers use here when they can sneak Nick Backham through there again, as he blocked that extra point the first time. Good snap, though. And it was Backham through. Caping's peeling that ball. He's got a little room, cuts up inside and gets it back over the 25 out to about the 27-yard line. Fairly nice return by Caping on the play as he cut it back inside and got about 15 yards.
Listen to the difference in field position here with 9:04 left in the second. Tigers have started out on their own 30, 32, 33, 30, 27, and 27. For GSL, I might have missed a possession, but they've started on the Hutch 42, the Hutch 42, the Hutch 45, and their own 46.
Wow. Yep, field position plays a big role in this. Tigers got Kirchhoff at quarterback. They got Whipstead spread out, and there's the play up inside as Davis. Ooh, he's bent backwards. Hope he's okay. He is.
Zemer there.
Zemer it was, okay.
Rasky, I think, made the tackle, but it was about a 7-yard gain for Zemer. He's got 21 yards on 4 carries. He's by far and away the leading ball carrier for the Tigers. None of the Tigers have carried for a first down, though.
Well, Tigers still looking for the first down, and there's 8:36 remaining here in the second quarter. GSL leads by 14. There's Davis going through, running hard, and there's the first down. Takes it out over the 40-yard line. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Tigers. So.
Well, you could really see, I think you could see GSL tackling the ball there. They really want another fumble. Tigers have fumbled it once and thrown an interception, so GSL, I'm sure, is being coached to go after that ball.
So we got the junior quarterback, Scott Kirchhoff, in there. Whipstead's playing the end, handing it inside again to Zemer, and Zemer pounds out for about 5 as the Tigers are going to the inside-outside game, pretty much between Zemer and Davis split.
This is so critical for the Tiger offense to get something going inside. That opens their offense up to the outside in the passing game, but when they're getting so little inside, that really allows GSL to stack it up and defend the pass or the rollout very well.
Timeout. Okay. Scott Kirchhoff saw something he didn't like, and there was plenty of time on the clock. So with 7:41 remaining, GSL 14, Tigers 0. We'll be back after this timeout.
Here after the timeout, each team has taken one timeout here in the first half.
Okay, Scott Kirchhoff facing a 2nd down, hand the second man Davis. Davis breaks out, runs over a couple guys. First down, hard running by Davis as he left number 12 on the ground that time. Nate Resch went to make the tackle, and Davis ran right over him that time. So second first down for the Tigers as they have got their running game moving here a little bit.
Kirchhoff stays at quarterback, and Whipstead, as you've mentioned, is playing the end, so that gives another option. I think Kirchhoff throws a little better ball than does Whipstead, but Whipstead might be a little better running quarterback.
That one stopped inside as Zemer was blasted by number 56. Is that Hagelin? Yep, Brian Hagelin at 310 pounds, and he's a player. He's just not big. He's a very good player. He was last year, so. Another reason that they had to move, I think, Whipstead out there, that's where Thody would ordinarily be playing too, and going to have to get some threat out there on receiving. So we'll see what happens here. 2-yard loss that time on the play. Tigers are split each way, and there's Kirchhoff, running that one, and receiver falls down, getting off the line. That was Caping, and Caping just threw it away on the outside there as
Kirchhoff threw it away.
Yeah. Legal procedure on the Tigers as well, but that'll be turned down by...
That's the second time it's happened. The officials caught it this time. They didn't the first time. The fullback, Zemer, is leaving early. As you mentioned, I'm sure it'll undoubtedly be turned down. Still deciding, however.
So the Tigers face a 3rd and 12 here, and it's a big play because they're out at about midfield, just into GSL territory. They need to get on the board badly here as they trail 14-0. They need to get their daubers up a little bit here as they've been kind of manhandled a little bit early in the game here.
They look very flat on the sidelines here.
They're running the ball, though, and Davis gets 0 as, again, I think it was the defensive end Crash come through there along with Ben Werner.
Yep. Punt time again for the Tigers. Whipstead will be in punt formation. We got to watch the snap this time, as last time it rolled back to him, and he was barely able to get it off. A very short punt.
Try and catch the snapper here. I think it's Peter Anderson that might snap that ball. No, he's playing on the end. I'll have to try and catch who the snapper is. I didn't get the number.
There's a good snap.
Might be Bryce Barrick, might be. Fair catch. And a handle on about the 21-yard line by the quarterback, who they've got back there, Luke Miska. Miska is 5'8", 185-pound junior. Doesn't look that big, but
Tiger defense has spent a lot of time on the field in this first half, and as you mentioned, it is not really hot, but it is humid, and early in the year the conditioning may not be where the teams like it to be later in the year, but both teams are in the same boat there. So
Urban and Martin remain as linebackers inside. There's the ride again, and the quarterback that time was kind of screwed up, but he got a couple yards anyway.
Coach Bruce Rosenow is down here on the near sideline talking to his offense. He's got some linemen there, and he's got Whipstad and some backs there as well. And I'm sure he's just telling them that we had a good start to that last drive, but then it just kind of fizzled out again, as the other drives have so far in the first half.
Okay, a little cross buck this time action, and it stays inside. Tigers stay at home on defense and defend that play very well. See who got that tackle. I think Undercheck and Irwin.
Irvin. So 3rd and 8 for GSL.
Well, look for him to get it in Schultz's hand, I'd say, somehow.
With the exception of a couple plays, the Tiger defense has not played that bad.
No.
In fact, pretty well.
Yes. There it is. There's the old pitch, and it's coming back over the middle. And, oh, there's a big play. That's a touchdown, Tiger. That's what they needed right there. And that was Josh Foshing picked that one off, and he ran that in as, again, that was a poor decision on the part of Miska, putting that ball up into a crowd.
Nice hands catch, though, by Foshing. He stepped in front, perfect timing.
Yep.
And he caught that ball with his hands on the dead run, and nobody was going to touch him as he ran in from about 30 yards.
Right. That's what we said. The Tigers needed to get a big play on defense to get the team moving, you know, so to speak, and get them fired up a little bit. So Tigers get on the board. It's 14-6 now. Big extra point coming. Tigers are going to have to call a timeout as they don't have all their personnel out on the field.
Well, we were just saying before that play, the Tiger defense had played very well. And Foshing comes up with the biggest play of the game for the Tigers, no doubt. And, of course, GSL's touchdowns have come on a short drive one time and then on a fumble return for a touchdown the other. So each team has scored a defensive touchdown. I think Emmons is a kicker this year for the Tigers, and it looks like Zemer's the holder.
All right, Zemer holding for Emmons. Good snap. Kick is up, and I don't think it's any good, though. Nope, just left. Oh, big play there. Needed that one and failed, so. Well, the Tigers get back, though. It's 14-6 with 4:36 remaining here in the first half as that kick just floated left to the goalpost, and just enough, though, wasn't any good. So the Tigers face getting a 2-point conversion if they're going to tie it if they get another touchdown.
Well, we'll see if that picks the Tigers' spirits up a little bit. We mentioned that they would look kind of down here on the near sideline. There, you can see some of the players there's keeping and some of his offensive teammates. Looks like B.J. Irvin does the kicking off for the Tigers. He did it a little bit last year.
Irvin kicking off the Tigers.
Can't even remember who the main kicker was last year they had. Let's see.
Backing the Panthers, number 4, Aaron.
So I know they did use Irvin a few times, though, last year. He was just a sophomore. So see what kind of a leg he's got here.
Number 30, Neil Rasper.
Looks like Schultz is deep, the lone deep man.
That's who I'm sure they'll want to get it into his hands. It's kicked over here to 30's hands, though, and he's going left. One tackle, 2 tackles missed, cutting back on the inside, and finally the Tigers catch up with him on about the 32-yard line.
Neil Rasper. Tigers are not going to like the missed tackles on that kickoff, but he did only bring it back to about the 33-yard line, where GSL will take over. Now the score 14-6, 4:26 remain in the second quarter.
Well, Irvin kicked off that time and also made the tackle, so See what the Tigers can do here on defense. We'll try and catch if there's been any changes as it's gone on here. We haven't been keeping up on that line. Undercheck and Anderson and Backham on the right side. There's a ride again as the quarterback spins out of there, and Tigers are stuffing that play pretty well, and it seems like GSL has best luck when they run that 4 right at the right side.
Looked like Peter Anderson and Irvin were combined on that tackle that time.
26 coming in for the Tigers. That's Jesse Doherty. He replaces 21. Bryce Barrick, maybe at a defensive end out there.
I think Barrick was shaken up a little bit, may have lost his wind.
All right, second down and about 10. There's a wishbone play, and this time they get it to the one of the right halfback. Was that Schultz that got that? No.
Nope, 42 was Josh Meyer that time.
Okay, Meyer was the ball carrier and brings up 3rd and about 5 for the Panthers here as there's only 3:35 remaining in the first half. Tigers trail 6-14. Big play here. Tigers going to get their hands on the ball once more.
They do run much better when they run left, just like
there's
this.
the keeper play again, and that's Mishka's got the first down as one of our defensive backs was in there and this slid off. I think it was Roseno that had a crack at him and then fell off, and it's a first down on the bread and butter play there on the Panther offense. Ride and then tuck it in and go.
Well, that was critical there because the Tigers did want the ball again with 3 minutes and counting here in the second quarter. Now the clock will run down probably under a minute here before
Weber comes in at the linebacker replacing Irwin. There's the same play off tackle. Not real quick, that guy, Meyer, but to get blocking, you can get it. That was 16 Roseno that time.
And Davis. Davis rotating in at a linebacker. Looks like they're rotating all 3 linebackers.
Okay, we got 79. Bjork still playing the defensive tackle on the left side, and 26. Who is that again? That's Jesse Doherty out there, a junior, playing the left defensive end. Okay, there's the ride again, and same play the other way as Mishka falls. That could be a face mask.
Face mask or a hold, I'm not sure which. Back judge threw it.
Hold.
No, will the Tigers take this one? Probably.
I would think so. You always take the 10-yarder, I think, most time anyway. And there was about a 3-yard gain on the play by Miska.
Yep. So that's Panthers' 4th penalty. I have the Tigers for 2, but the 2 have been very costly.
One actually led to that second touchdown by GSL. So defenses have scored for each team, but the offense scored a short touchdown there for GSL.
So 2nd and 16 now with 2:22 in the second.
Passing situation. Got room over the middle this time. That big Ben Werner made a great catch. I don't know how he came up with that because he got popped right when he caught it. Nice catch.
Yeah, that was a great catch. Fashing was right there, as was another Tiger defender, but that was a completion for about half the yardage they needed back from that penalty.
One thing we didn't catch, we'll have to watch the tape on that, is who put the defensive pressure on when Fashing intercepted that ball, because somebody had Miska all wrapped up that time.
So that was a 12-yard completion. Now it brings them into where they have a lot more options in their offense.
There's the ride inside, and they're going to be short. And they'll have to kick the ball away because they just get her down to about the 49-yard line. Wentland, I think, was in on that tackle, playing, not sure what he was playing on for the Tigers, but he's listed as a defensive back.
Tigers will take a timeout now to stop the clock with 1:19 to go in the second quarter. They want the ball with some time. That's their 3rd timeout, however. They had to waste one on that extra point attempt.
I think Wentland had replaced Roseno on the defense, give Roseno a little blow there because he's been playing some on both sides of the ball.
There you see Hutch head coach Grady Rosberg out into the huddle. He's taking care of the defense again this year, of course, and Coach Andy Rosberg is taking care of most of the offense with a variety of assistants and volunteer assistants rounding out the rest of the Tiger staff.
Caping will go back in a single set. Tigers usually run two back there, don't they, in most instances?
In the past they have, then they run that handoff or fake handoff and try and get behind the wall. They used to anyway set up a wall to one side or another, but looks like they got a single setback in Caping this year.
All right, junior John Stronstedt, an end, is doing the kicking. See if they get a good snap. Tigers are coming after it, I think. Yeah, real nice snap. Oh, just about
Nice
got
punt.
in there. High punt. Caping's got it. He's dancing the inside, outside, tries to get wide. He's trying to get wide, cuts up, and he hits it back to about the 30-yard line as he did some dancing.
Well, when the Tigers go for the block like that, they didn't have the return set up, obviously, and Caping's back there on his own. But Tigers didn't get to the punter, and he got off a very nice punt. So they take over on their own 30 this time.
Good pressure from the left side, though. Well, the Tigers will have to try and light her up here a little bit. Look for ball to be put in the air by junior quarterback Scott Kirchhoff. No, Whipstead's in there. Oh, well. Whipstead back in there, and he hands the ball this time to Zemer inside, and little gain on the play. See if the Tigers take a timeout.
They don't have any.
They don't have any?
They're out. Now Kirchhoff is going to quarterback.
47 seconds remaining, so
About 2 plays probably, barring incomplete passes.
he'll try and throw it long, I think. There it is out here to Whipstead. Whipstead makes a nice over-the-shoulder catch, gets out of bounds on the 40. Great catch by Whipstead. That's another reason that they like to use him outside, because he can really catch the ball. He's a great athlete.
So that looks like a 30-yard completion from Kirchhoff to Whipstead.
Just the old fade pattern that time, and Whipstead was able to run under it and made a great catch along the near sideline.
Time definitely a factor, though, for the Tigers.
Second man through. Davis gets loose, did get a little yardage. Timeout now. Tigers do take their last timeout.
I don't think they have any left.
They had only used 2. This is the third one, I'd say. Yep.
My fault. I thought they'd used 3.
Okay, so we'll keep it right here with only 22 seconds remaining in the half as GSL leads 14-6. The Tigers got it down inside the, what is that, on about the 35-yard line? Yeah, about 33-yard line.
Who carried that, Davis?
Davis got 7, yeah. Made a nice run. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage, broke free, and I think the Tigers were trying to cross him up there when they were looking for the pass, so.
Well, so they are on the 35-yard line and 33-yard line rather, and they have 22 seconds to go. Second down. The down's not the important thing here. It's the time. I would imagine they'll see Kirchhoff remain at quarterback.
Well, they've been throwing that fade pattern one right after another. Maybe they'll try a crossing pattern over the middle.
Or an out and up or something like that.
They got to get deep now, so Glencoe's got their best defenders in there. They got Mishka, the quarterback, playing one of the defensive backs.
Whipstead left, Caping right.
Oh, Whipstead over there that time didn't have much of a chance, because that one was thrown to the outside and kind of on the wrong side of him, so.
And it was well covered. They had 2 backs over there that time on Whipstead.
Yeah.
3rd and 3, 18 seconds now from the 33.
This is where they really missed Thody, because Thody's got that blazing speed to get into the slot and deep. He had scored 3 touchdowns last week in the scrimmage, so you can see the value he has.
No, there's a legal.
Oh, look at that hold, though. You see that? Right, grabbed him right by the shirt.
Yeah, there was a hold there, but there was a illegal procedure too that the Tigers are going to be called on. It should be offsetting.
Yeah, but they didn't catch the hold.
No, they didn't. Obvious from here.
Oh, I don't know how he missed that one. Everybody in the whole stadium saw that, so I'd say GSL will take this penalty. There's no reason to turn it down. It's going to give them 5 yards back. They don't care about the 3rd down, I don't think, back over again. So there was only 14 seconds, so they did.
I might have turned that one down because
Gives
get
us 2
fourth
cracks?
down, that gets you 2 cracks here. And they'll get 2 cracks in 14 rather than just the 1 if they didn't make it. So somewhat question that one, I guess.
Needs some protection here. There it is over the middle. Oh, great try by number 16.
Great hit by number 1, Mishka.
Rosenau almost made a great catch there. Well, here it is. Now it would be GSL ball had they turned that penalty down. Now the Tigers need 9 yards. They're putting it up, though. They're loosening up that defense. There's a little different pattern as they ran. Rosenau streaking down the inside. Would have been a great catch.
Now, if the time is there for Kirchhoff, I would imagine he'll throw it as far as he can and try and let one of the backs run under it. No.
I don't know what that was there. Rosenau kind of ran into traffic there, and it really wasn't much there. Just 5 seconds remaining, so. Of course, GSL they know what it is to lose a game on the last play of the game because that's how they lost to Montemedi last year. They had a lead, and with 1 play remaining in the game, Montemedi went 60-some yards for a touchdown on a pass to defeat them and get the trip into the Dome semifinals. So 1 play here. Look for the for the Panthers just to kind of sit on the ball, I think.
Yep, they'll kneel it down,
Yep.
I'm sure. Well, the Tigers have some things to talk about at halftime. It was a much better second quarter than it was first quarter for the Tigers.
Okay, so Nishka kneels it down as the first half comes to an end. And why don't you got the scoring there, Dave, at least?
Yeah, I got some scoring here. And first 2 scores of the game were by GSL. Schultz started out the scoring on a 1-yard run after the penalty had taken the GSL Panthers down into deep Tiger territory, and then also in the first quarter with 16 seconds to go, a 10-yard fumble return as Wibstad coughed up the ball deep in his own territory and was 14-0 after a 2-point conversion. Later in the second quarter, Flashing for the Tiger defense, Josh Flashing stepped in front of a pass by Mishka and went about 30 yards for a TD, and the kick failed, so that brings the score to 14-6. Glencoe Silver Lake over the Hutchinson Tigers.
Well, as we watch the Tigers throwing that ball around, brings me back to a statement that Andy Rosberg had put into the paper. He said, we have great receivers. Since that time, both Ingholm and Thody have gone down with knee injuries on non-contact situations, and so it kind of takes some of the weapons away from the Tigers, and hopefully they'll get those people back in the next 3 weeks. All right, this is Don Hansen along with Dave Hansen for HCVN from the field in Glencoe. Sue Potter up on the roof running the camera, along with Matt Bosma and Joe Matthews helping out high school seniors. So we'll be back for second half action in a few minutes. Well, back for second half action. As you can see on the screen there, 12 minutes are going to remain here in the third quarter as we're just getting ready to go. GSL will get the ball. Hutch going to kick off to our right, which would be the north end. Tigers look better. The defense that first half really played well, I thought. I mean, it was they got good field position when Hutch went for it on a fourth down and were stopped by 6 inches short. And then they went in to score on after a penalty, and then the other time was just a ball coughed up by Wibstad and run in for a TD. And other than that, I thought the defense was very, very tough.
One of the big GSL players is real late coming back onto the field, and that looks like 56 Hagelin. So that would be a big loss for GSL if he is not able to play. He's walking very gingerly across the field and just getting to the sideline now, just out of your screen view there.
I
There he is.
remember that GSL had some of those big guys playing both ways, both quarters, and like you kept saying, it's kind of a human night. It's going to take their toll possibly. Pretty decent kick, but it's Schultz has got it. He's the speed merchant. He breaks wide to the outside. He's got a lane, and Hutch are trying to catch up with him and do, but he gets it out over the 35-yard line. He covers a lot of ground in a hurry, Dave. You can see that. Big, strong strider.
Yeah, as Art Davis always used to say, the 30 is the make or break point for high school football, and GSL brought it out to the 36, so that's a successful return for the Panthers.
Wentland, number 2, made the tackle for the Tigers over on the far sideline. He's able to control Schultz before he broke free more. So see, this time they got a new tackle on the left side with Hedlund out there. See if they keep coming that way. Yeah, still coming that way with Schultz. This time Schultz is stopped. Good, there's the ball's loose. Tigers have it, and they could score right now. There goes one of their defensive men, and that is 12. Schleter, and Jake Schleter picks that fumble up and roars in on the first offensive play for Glencoe in the second half.
That was 35 yards approximately on the fumble return, so that's 2 defensive scores for the Tigers here tonight.
So Foshing has a touchdown and Schleter has a touchdown. Tigers will go for 2 here as they trail now 14-12.